Make that money, girl.
Don't let it make you.
The movie starts at a burnt-down strip club. We meet Diana, aka Diamond, who says she's worked there for 4 years before it burned down. Flashback, she argues with her dad, who kicks her out for wanting to go to an HBCU. She's a senior in high school and visibly pregnant, so she moves in her own apartment with her baby daddy. He flips on her and says he needs space and leaves. So she can't enroll in school and starts working at a shoe store. There she meets Ronnie and Trixie.
What you got to get what you want and stop messing with this chump change.
They recruit her to work at the Players Club. Then we meet Dollar Bill, the owner of the club. After checking her out, he says she can start tonight if she wants to. It's Diamond's first night. She's nervous. Ronnie gives her a pep talk. Then Ronnie acts like a pimp, demands money from another dancer, and tells Diamond,
"Well, let's go, ho."
What?
That's exactly what they about to call you upstairs, so you might as well get used to it. Now let's go, ho.
Her first dance is with Myron, looking creepy as hell. She survives the night and makes some fast and easy money. She creates a 4-year hustle plan, school in the morning, club at night. Everything's going well. She's in her senior year, has a boyfriend, and is talking to her dad again. Then her 18-year-old cousin, Ebony, moves in and wants to work at the club. Another iconic scene, Dollar Bill tells the story of how stripping was created.
Stripping been started in Africa. Long time ago, long time ago, white men went to Africa. And he saw these beautiful black women singing, dancing, working, bucket naked.
And at the end, he mentions he takes 30%. Ebony asks when she can start. He says,
immediately.
Next day, Dollar Bill wakes up to a pew-pew in his face. He owes $60,000 to someone named St. Louis, who wants $10K payment now. At the club, St. Louis henchmen harass Lil Man. St. Louis tells Lil Man to tell Dollar Bill to bring him his money. They send 2 guys to spy on Dollar Bill, Reggie and Clyde. Diamond gets to the club, tells the bartender Ebony didn't come home, and the bartender tells her that she's been out with Ronnie and Trixie. Jamie Foxx, the DJ, argues with Dollar Bill about his pay. Dollar Bill tells him welcome to the strip game and don't come back talking about it again. Little Man then tells Dollar Bill St. Louis showed up. Dollar Bill tries to act hard, but he's clearly disturbed. Diamond confronts Ebony, tells her to stop hanging with Ronnie and Trixie and slow down. Then another iconic scene with Diamond performing. Her body was right and she did her damn thing. Later that night, Diamond gets home. Lance said he wanted to go out, claims he said Thursday, it's Wednesday. Complains she'd rather be at the club than with him. She tells him that's not true. Then Ebony walks out in just a t-shirt and panties. Diamond tells her to go put on some clothes, and Ebony says, for who? Lance? He ain't nobody. The disrespect. Flash forward, Diamond falls asleep in class. Her teacher calls her out, says get more rest, just not in his classroom. Next morning at the club, St. Louis's goons beat up Dollar Bill and throw him in the trunk. They're driving and their tire blows. They pull over and then the cops show up. The cops think that something's off, so they take them in. Dollar Bill wakes up, but it's too late. That night, the cops come to the club looking for Dollar Bill. They harass Lil Man. He really can't catch a break. Ronnie dances, and then Trixie comes out and gets booed. And she drops an iconic line that also lives rent-free in my head.
Oh, y'all with a sick dick.
Trixie invites Ebony to Ronnie's brother's bachelor party. Of course, Ebony's down. Ebony goes upstairs drunk, trying to make money. Cops find Dollar Bill in the trunk, arrest him for outstanding warrants. Then back at the club, Ebony's getting dragged out. They didn't want to pay for a dance, but running a train? No problem. Diamond shows up in the nick of time and gets her out before it's too late. She tries to talk sense into Ebony again. Ebony says she doesn't need anyone. She's grown. Diamond tells her,
make the money. Don't let it make you.
And then we find out that Diamond was once assaulted by Ronnie when she was drunk and passed out. Diamond visits her parents. They ask if Ebony's dancing. She lies and says no. They warn her not to let her. And she says she can't control her. She's grown. Ronnie and Ebony talk. Ronnie gives her advice.
Closed legs don't get fed.
They go to a private party dancing for ATF agents. Ebony hesitates about dancing for white men. Ronnie tells her to get it together. Ronnie begins to dance and notices that a guy is not paying attention and disrespecting her. So she punishes him.
Assume the position.
Yes, ma'am.
Next morning, Ebony comes home. She hears Lance and Diamond arguing. He says he knows what's best for her, gives her an ultimatum.
What you gonna do? Either you stop stripping or I'm gone.
Bye.
Well, that didn't quite work out for him, did it? Next day, she's getting fitted for a graduation cap, and some other students find out that she strips and disrespects her for no reason. Back at the club, St. Louis's goons harass Little Man again. They drag him around with his head stuck in the window and burn him with a cigarette. Diamond breaks down crying over all the judgment, and the bartender gives her a pep talk, tells her to finish school and forget the haters. The rapper Luke shows up at the club. Dollar Bill hits the money alarm, and all the girls run upstairs.
Girls, get up. Y'all know what that means. There's money upstairs.
Ronnie tries to recruit another girl for her brother's bachelor party. She says, hell no. Diamond desses for Myron. Her professor walks in. She gets embarrassed and leaves. Reggie and Clyde get into a fight. It ends with gunshots. People run out screaming. In the aftermath, DJ Blue hits on Diamond. He asks for her number. She says no, because I just broke up with my boyfriend and I might get back with him. Now this is new. Ronnie's in a car with Myron. Diamond gets home. Myron tries to come inside because he followed her home. Apparently paying for a couple lap dances means that you're allowed to come to someone's house. Distraught, she runs to find Ebony to tell her what happened, and she finds Ebony in bed with Lance. Lance tries to lie, and Diamond grabs a pew-pew. He runs off in his underwear, narrowly avoiding getting got. Diamond confronts Ebony outside the bathroom. Diamond acts unbothered, then tells her that she'll be at her mom's house till she finds somewhere to stay. Ebony walks out thinking the coast is clear, but just then Diamond hits her and tells her to get out. Dumbass. Next day, the professor confronts Diamond for missing class and ends up giving her a BET contact and tells her not to be so hard on herself. We arrive at Junior's bachelor's party. He's mad the girls haven't arrived. We flash to Diamond getting ready for a date with DJ Blue, and DJ Blue meets Diamond's dad, who attempts to intimidate him. Ebony shows up to the bachelor's party and is the only woman in a house full of men other than Ronnie. Ronnie gets lured away with some Mary Jane. Ice Cube lies to Junior, says they ran a train on Ebony a couple weeks ago and that she's going. Junior, being gullible, believes Ice Cube and enters the bedroom. Then we hear Ebony screaming and Junior beating on her. Ronnie returns to the hotel room and finds Ebony. She looks disturbed but runs off with her brother. Diamond and Blue find Ebony beaten and assaulted. Diamond storms into the club, confronts Ronnie, and clears out the dressing room. A fight breaks out. Blue guards the door, and Diamond ends up winning. Police come and arrest Ronnie and Trixie for the assault that happened on Ebony. St. Louis shows up at the club, sees Dollar Bill. He starts shooting up the club. They take Dollar Bill outside. St. Louis's henchmen blow up the club with a bazooka, and we are left with a burning down club. Fast forward, we're back at the shoe store. Ebony's now working there, still healing. Diamond and Ebony have made up, but then we find out Ebony moved back to Tallahassee. DJ Blue works for a local radio station. Trixie and Ronnie got out of jail and now work at Club Sugar Daddy. Junior is serving time for the assault. Dollar Bill was never heard from again. And that's the end of the movie. Here are my final thoughts. Alright, let's break down this movie. I haven't fully watched this movie since I was much younger, probably around the time it came out. Woo, child, this movie came out in 1998. I was 8 years old, okay? I had no business watching this movie when I was younger, but I loved it. So first we're gonna start with the star, that's Diamond or Diana. I actually don't have anything negative to say about Diamond. She was a senior in high school, she got pregnant, she ended up moving out of her family's house. She got her own apartment, she was taking care of her son, she even postponed going to school, and it seems like when she first started at the club, she was also probably something similar to how Ebony was when she got there. Very naive. She allowed too many people in her life that were toxic trying to help them instead of letting them help themselves. And I think that would have actually helped her in the long run. She wouldn't have been involved in a lot of the drama that she was in. We're gonna talk about Ebony. You know, honestly, she was just young and naive and she saw quick, easy money and she started making really stupid mistakes. I know she was 18. She was very gullible. But I mean, I can see that happening at that age. But I think it's perfectly normal to make the decisions that she made when she was her age. Ronnie and Trixie. Ooh, honey. I love them. I love them. Not because they're good people, but they made this movie, honey. Okay. First off, let's talk about Trixie. That poor girl kept on catching strays. From her getting booed when she was on stage, to the rapper Luke shading her and telling her to get her fat ass out of there. She just kept on taking strays. They really wanted to make it think like she was sloppy and nasty and fat or whatever, but that girl looked just fine to me. For her to have kids, if she did have 4 kids, she looked damn good. I think she was a bit of a follower, but outside of that, like, not much else to say about her. Then we had Miss Ronnie. When I say they casted her so well in this movie, they did the damn thing when they chose her. She's given all the energy that we needed. She was a predator. She was a pimp. Now, was she a hater? Hell yeah. Was she disgusting? Hell yeah. But she also represents a lot of women out here here, even if they won't admit it. I think she was just a product of her environment. But I will say that part that she found Ebony, she was clearly disturbed, and I could see in her brain it was clicking, what should I do, what should I do? But I couldn't tell if it was what should I do so I don't get in trouble versus what should I do to help this girl. But obviously she didn't give too many fucks about the other girls. She really captured this character. Dollar Bill, okay? I actually don't think that Dollar Bill was a bad guy. Compared to the other men that were in this film, I don't think he was a bad guy. Dollar Bill was an entrepreneur. And yeah, he owed somebody some money, given. He was not good at paying back his debts. But was he actively out here abusing women? No. If anything, he actually cared a little bit about those women. In this scene where St. Louis comes and starts shooting up the club, he actually tries to help the bartender and pulls her down so she doesn't get shot. And then there's another scene where he is pulling one of the dancers and trying to protect her. But then I looked at it again and I think that he might have been using her as a shield. So I don't really know. But he definitely was protecting the bartender. He seemed to like her. So I don't think Dollar Bill was a bad guy. He saw what the people wanted and he gave it to them. And he got his fees for it. The 30% that he was taking, that's actually normal. It's called a house fee. Look it up. So little man, he kept on catching strays. I felt sorry for him. He was just in a bad situation. His job was to, you know, basically protect Dollar Bill. But he just kept on catching strays. There was nothing he could do about it except quit his job. But I'm sure he made whatever money he needed to while he was there and he got some perks from it. So he stayed. Myron's old creepy ass, you know, the patron that showed up at Diamond's house and tried to get in. Typical. Somebody that can't catch a hint, that can't separate services rendered and relationship or emotional attachment. But I could see he was gonna be a problem from day one. His eyes and his smile were just super creepy. Lance, also trash. He was so freaking selfish. He wanted Diamond to quit, but he didn't offer anything to her to make her want to quit her job. But he met her at the strip club in the first place. It sounded like he just wanted to control her actions. But you didn't hear him trying to say, hey, I'll pay your tuition if you quit. So basically trying to block her from graduating. Overall, I will say that the men in this movie were trash. From her father, he kicked her out of the house because she wanted to go to a HBCU. At that point, she was already pregnant. And then the only reason that you kicked her out is because she wanted to go to a historically black college. That makes absolutely no sense. Talk about you hate yourself without saying you hate yourself. And then to talk shit about her working at the strip club when you're not helping her pay for her tuition in the first place. You have no say so in anything that she does, honey, okay? And then what got me was him trying to intimidate Blue. What are you doing? Why are you trying to intimidate him? You didn't try to intimidate Lance or the baby daddy. Now you want to intimidate this guy. It makes absolutely no sense to me. What are you trying to protect? Because if you really wanted to protect Diamond, you wouldn't have kicked her out while she was pregnant, and you wouldn't have not paid her tuition just because she wanted to go to a historically black college. So it starts with you being a trash individual and being a trash father. And let's go to her mom. For her to tell her to make sure that Ebony is not working at the club, like, be real. Ebony's a grown ass woman. She was 18. She can make all the decisions she wanted to at that time, as if she can control an adult. Make it make sense. Another thing with these men in these movies, if it wasn't for Ice Cube telling him that he ran a train on Ebony a couple weeks before, and as we know, that did not happen because Diamond stopped it before it happened, then I don't know if Junior would have actually went in there and did what he did. And the reason for him setting him up like that or telling him to do that in the first place didn't make sense to me. What was the goal there? Were you just trying to see if you could tempt him to do it? But then you made someone else suffer because you wanted to play a little silly game. But I'm wondering, all these men that were at Junior's bachelor party, nowadays they probably would have got jail time too. So overall, I love this movie when I was younger. It taught me so many lessons about women, about men. I learned that blood ain't no thicker than water. But that's it for this review and recap. If you like this video, like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.